guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about the books that I'm reading for the month of May. This video is a little bit late. It's been rainy and cloudy and gross here in Texas for the last few days, so the lighting has been not good. So today we are going to talk about my May TBR. A couple of these books I've already read, but I'm still going to talk about them as recommendations for you guys to read them. I have my iPad in front of me to keep me on track. So first thing I want to talk about is how I read my books. I actually have a iPad mini that I read on. I don't have a Kindle. I just don't feel like I need one when I have the Kindle app on my iPad mini. And I read them through the Kindle Unlimited through Amazon. The Kindle Unlimited itself is $11.99 a month. You can do it for the year, but it doesn't end up being any less than the monthly charge. So I just do the monthly one. And I'm gonna talk about as far as the Kindle Unlimited goes, you can borrow up to 20 books on the Kindle app when you have the Kindle Unlimited. The Kindle Unlimited has over 4 million books on the Kindle Unlimited subscription. I've never had any issues finding any books to read on there, so I never feel like I need to buy any, if that makes sense. Now, that being said, if I love the book, then I will go and I will purchase it on Amazon. But most of the time I read it and then I borrow it, I read it, and then I return it. And I never have 20 books out at a time. My process is probably about 4 to 5 at one time, and then once I read those, I will go and return them and then get 4 or 5 more. Like I said, I have about 11 books that I'm going to talk about today. 2 I've already read, so we're going to go through the 2 I've already read first, and then we'll go through the other ones. So the first one is After the Storm by Laura Pavlov, and it is actually book 5, Covington Cove series. And I've read the previous books, all 4 of them. I read them about a year ago, but I wanted to go ahead and finish out the series, and so I read that one. It was the first one I read this month. And let me tell you, you're following Cade and Presley, and Cade is a single dad. The book itself can be read as a standalone, but like I said, I read the entire series. It's all fantastic. If you have the time to read the entire Cottonwood Cove series, you should definitely do that. This one, he's a little bit grumpy. She's a little bit more on the sunshine side. They both have a history and a past, of course, but Cade really does come around. She's more of the pushy one about tell me how you feel, and he's more of the one that kind of stands back and watches. The family dynamic in the Cottonwood Cove series is so good. They have a text chain that you get to see everybody back from the first 4 books in the 5th book, and all around 5-star read for me. And then we have Ashes of You by Catherine Cowles. It's another one, a series that I started about a year ago, and this is the 5th book. It can be read as a standalone, but I recommend the whole series. The entire series is good. This one is more of a suspense romance where After the Storm is more of just a romantic love story. I tend to enjoy the suspense romance more than the rest of the books that I read. Not to say that they're not good or that I don't enjoy them. I just tend to like to have some suspense in the story as well. So in Ashes of You, you're following Lawson and Haley, and I just finished that one yesterday. So good. He's the police chief, and 5 years ago, he actually saved her from the bad man in the story. And in the beginning of the story, you don't know who that man is. And so in this one, you actually get to find out who is the person that took her, because he ends up coming back and causing chaos in the town. But it can be read as a standalone, like I said, but I recommend just reading all of them. They're all fantastic. He's also a single dad of 3 boys. He has some, you have Drew and Luke and Charlie, and Luke is the oldest. He's the 15-year-old. Mom is not in the picture. You read about that in the story as well. But the 3 boys really are having a hard time with what's going on in their lives. And so when Haley comes in, she is the nanny that he needs to hire. He has way too much going on. Obviously, he's the police chief, but he has 3 boys and he needs some help. So she comes in and she's the nanny, and the boys fall in love with her immediately. She understands Luke better than his father does, and so she ends up helping him through some turmoil. And all around, 5-star read, fantastic. I definitely recommend that story. So those are the 2 that I've read, and now we're going to get into the ones that I have not read. I have the synopsis in front of me to kind of give you a little bit of background on these stories. Some of them have not very good reviews, so those may be books that I opt to not read, but we'll see. So we have All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowell, and this one is, if you look at it on Goodreads, it's a 4.5-star review. I love Catherine Cowell's, any of her stories. I want to read all of them. They're all the goodness, and so this one was just another one. This book is actually a standalone. There is no other ones to this one. It is a standalone. So it is another small town romantic suspense. This one is enemies to lovers. So you're following Coulter and Ridley. He is the sheriff, and she is a podcaster. So from what I'm going to read you the synopsis. It sounds so good. He is really a grumpy kind of guy, and she's more of the sunshiny type. But she's a podcaster, and she goes around and finds true crime, missing persons. And so the synopsis is: Ridley Sawyer knows what it's like to miss someone, to feel like a piece of her vanished because it happened to her the night her twin disappeared. You already got me hooked. You already got me hooked right there. There's a story there that I want to know. What happened to her sister? Where she go? All of the things. So now Ridley channels that the loss into hope, traveling the country covering cold cases for her true crime podcast. She might not have found justice for her sister, but that doesn't stop her from finding it from others. So that's kind of her story. Sounds so good. I'm all in. And then it gets to the sheriff. Sheriff Coulter Brooks gets in the way. Colt knows what it's like to have reporters descending on his town in the wake of tragedy, and he's not about to let the podcaster stir up trouble. It doesn't matter that her haunting blue eyes tell him there's more to Ridley's story, or that he can't stop imagining what it would be like to touch her. But when Ridley's cold case turns hot and she's thrust into the crosshairs, he has no choice but to step in. So he's going to be the hero in the story, but it seems to me he's a little bit, he don't want her around. He don't want her around. He don't want her no part of the story. And so I'm super, I'll probably read this one next, in all honesty. Then we have Wild for You by Kristen Proby. It was actually recommended to me through Kindle Unlimited, and so I know nothing there again about the story. You're following Remington and Aaron. It's a grumpy sunshine, age gap, single dad, It's book 1, Wilds of Montana series, and it's a 4-star review. It says 4.7, but it's a 4-star review. Remington is a single dad of 2 adorable kids and the oldest son of the Wild family. Has recently taken over the Wild River Ranch from his father. Life is crazy, and he's finally willing to admit that he needs help. The sooner the better. He has an idea that the beautiful woman he sees every day at the Valley Coffee Company is the woman who would show up for the job. So he has no idea that she's the one that wants the job. She needs a second job, and so from what I'm understanding, she ends up taking the job as his nanny. So I'm excited for that one too. And then we have Mad Love by Willow Asher. This is a story following Weston and Sadie, and it's a sports romance. It's a football romance. He's the quarterback of a team. It's Enemies to Lover. It's book 1. It can be read as a standalone. It's book 1 in the Single Dad Playbook series. So he's a quarterback, a single dad, and now he's Sadie's roommate. You already got me. Sports romance, single dad, age gap, all the things. You already got. For a long time now, I've despised Weston Shaw. He's been someone I admired, taking my favorite football team, the Colorado Mustangs, to the Super Bowl. But all that turned upside down after one night that had nothing to do with me. We share one undeniable connection, his son Caleb. Unfortunately, the circumstances behind that have never been my story to tell, but now the truth is out and I am left to deal with the consequences. I'm living under the same roof as Weston, and each day I discover a side of him I never expected. He's not the selfish jock that I imagined. He's caring, thoughtful, and unexpectedly charming. So, this seems like a good story as far as the enemies to lovers part. Seems more of she falls in love with the child first and then she falls in love with him. We'll see. I'll let you know. And then we have Unforgettable by Willow Asher also. And this one is a 4-star read. It is the landmark mountain number. It's the first book in the series. And you're following Jameson and Scarlett. It's enemies to lovers. So Jameson Ledger, the hottest man I've ever seen, the enemy I never saw coming. On one of the worst days of my life, the last thing I planned on was falling into a bed with a guy who literally charmed the pants off of me. So this one's going to be probably pretty steamy if that's in the synopsis, but I'm here for it. It's going to be so good. Then we have another Catherine Cowles read. It is actually the first book in her Sparrow Falls series, and it's Fragile Sanctuary. It's Anson and Rhodes. It's a Grumpy Sunshine. So Anson we know about from the Cottonwood Cove series. So he's in book 5 of that one, where he goes and he helps them when they need it in there. He's a former FBI special agent. It's book 1. It can be read as a standalone. I haven't read any of the other ones. This is book 1, so I can't really recommend all of them, but it's a 4-star read. The synopsis is the scowl should have been my first clue to stay far away from Anson Hunt. The sexy smirk and the fact that he's my brother's best friend, reasons 2 and 3, not to mention he's the new contractor working on my house. So he's everything I'm not. Grumpy, rude, and more than a little attached to his solitude. It doesn't matter how many times I try to kill him with kindness, the man simply won't crack. So it's gonna be pretty good too. Then we have Obsession Falls by Claire Kingsley. It's a 4-star read. Josiah, we're following Josiah and Andrea. It's also Grumpy Sunshine, maybe a part 1 from what I'm understanding. I'm not quite sure on that, if it is a part 1 or not. He'll risk it all to protect her. Someone is stalking Audrey Young and she has no idea why. It's bad enough that she's back, but Audrey's good at making the best of things, and her new job at a small town newspaper is just to get her back on her feet. So we'll see if this leaves off in a cliffhanger. If it does, I'll come back in my mid-month wrap-up and let you know. If not, then I will let you know at the end of my wrap-up for the entire month. The next book is The Vendetta by Dr. Rebecca Sharp. You're following Harmon and Daria. He's ex-Special Forces. It's Enemies to Lovers. It's book 1 of the Vigilantes MC series that Rebecca is writing. I like Rebecca's suspense romance books also. This one is an MC motorcycle gang that we're following in this one. It's a 4-star read, and Harmon lives by a singular motto: family first, justice for all. It's the creed that sustained him when he left Special Forces and started an ex-military motorcycle club. There, his creed drove him to put the unique skills to use, righting the wrongs left unpunished by the law. But there's one wrong he's been waiting years to make right, and her name is Daria Sinclair. So from what I understand from the synopsis, he's out to get her dad. Her dad did something wrong, and to get back at her dad, he tries to get in a romance relationship with her, is what I'm assuming. I have no idea, but I'm excited for it. The next one is Loving Romeo from Laura Pavlov. It's book 1 in the Magnolia Falls series. It's a 4-star read. You're following Romeo and Demi. It's Enemies to Lovers. It's book 1. Demi Crawford was Magnolia Falls royalty. I was the boxer from the wrong side of the tracks. She was the epitome of everything good, while I was the broody and rebellious. We couldn't be more different. Her family was enemy number 1, which made her guilty by association. I despise her before I even knew her. It was easier that way, but now she's moved in next door to me and she's everything I turned. I couldn't avoid her no matter how hard I tried. She was beautiful, honest, and sweet. Everything I knew I shouldn't want, shouldn't need. So this one, Laura Pavlov, any of her books are going to be fantastic. She's very good as well. So I'm looking forward to that one. The last book I have today is Reckless by Elsie Silver, and I've read the first 3 books of the series about a year ago when I was reading before, and I want to finish this series. So there's book 4 and book 5 that I haven't finished in this one. This is the Chestnut Springs series. It's Theo and Winter, and it's a surprise baby. He is a rodeo rider, and she's just looking for a place to land, I think. The last book was her sister. This one is for her. Theo, rowdy bull rider, notorious ladies man, scorching hot, wrapped up in drool-worthy package, and he's looking at me like I might be his next meal. But I'm almost free of my toxic marriage and have sworn off men entirely. So all I see when I look back is temptation served up with a heaping side of heartbreak. Yes, please, I will take all of the Elsie Silver books. That is my May TBR. I thank you so much for clicking on this video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I will be doing a mid-month wrap-up on some of the other ones, going a little bit more in depth on what I think. Probably some spoilers to add to the mix on that one. So I look forward to seeing you then. Have a great day. Thank you.